Curu cu cu cu. Cek cek cek. Can you hear me? Ada suara nggak? Cek 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 cek. Nah, karena kita mau nonton PRX Valorant sama barengan sama Indo versus Vietnam, jadi kita nonton di sini ya. Happy watching guys. Mantap deh. Ada Syria attack down ya. Curu cu cu cu. Selamat menonton, happy watching. Lancar ya. Oke deh. Yang kiri gini. Patrick kita taruh sini nih. Gitu gak sih? Cururururu cururururu. Tidak boleh. Gitu gak sih? Semifinals. Bisa digeser kanan. Cu. G.N.G. Selamat nonton, happy watching. Cu. Baby. Oh gitu. Alright, I see. Kenapa nggak bisa? Selamat nonton, happy watching. Happy watching. Happy watching.
berani berdua Ramadan Sananta dan memiliki postur yang sangat baik. Itulah ini yang harus dimiliki striker-striker di era modern saat ini.
Ya, memang dan beberapa pertandingan Sananta tidak bisa tampil 90 menit. Ya, dari beberapa tes fisik yang dilakukan, Sananta adalah pemain yang kategori untuk fisiknya, filterannya tidak terlalu maksimal.
Umpan ke belakang, sangat baik dalam pangkuan taik, umpan kembali. Satu dua yang sangat-sangat luar biasa juga para pemain Vietnam. Tyson kini kuasai bola di tengah, langsung pada umpan terobosan. Hati-hati Indonesia, ada Bang Jai di situ. Putus sementara serangan dari Vietnam. Lepam Tanlong sangat cepat, Lepam Tanlong. Hati-hati Indonesia, Lepam Tanlong. Lepas dari menguasai bola tadi, dikuasai oleh Adil Satrio. Sebuah pertahanan berlapis-lapis seperti berlapis dilakukan oleh para pemain belakang Indonesia. Bergantian pemain yang punya pengalaman di Eropa menahan, kemudian melakukan menutup ruang dan akhirnya bisa membuat bagaimana Adil Satrio nyaman dan tidak perlu bekerja keras. Sekali yang kedua, Egy Maulana Fikri sangat baik Egy, lepas dari penguasaannya Egy. Apa yang terjadi? Kartu kuning untuk siapa?
Still, I think close round four was invested. That was a decent stack up in the early stages.
Egy sedikit tidak percaya bahwa bolanya
somehow
harus
managed to
menjadi milik
dodge
Vietnam.
shots that I don't really know how they did, but
Balik pada Pak
bring it down to
Suakman,
one player surviving.
umpan ke
Keeping
tengah,
that
Wang
economy a
Luch.
little bit more honest for Gen.G.
Dua kita lihat
You
oleh
see the
Justin
danger
Hamdan,
of
masih
how
Wang
fast
Luch.
this man is with the operator. The problem though is he's not going to be able to have it for this round. They didn't have the extra finances, the quick trading again, the fundamentals of Gen.G. is
Kita lihat bagaimana menarik tadi Justin
So he's still 2 away from
badan
Blade Storm. So
Wang Luch,
redemption just outright.
Suakman.
But as we said, ultis were coming on.
Langsung
We
ke
saw
depan,
this used
ada
by
Justin
find a
Hamdan
lot
mudah
of
saja tadi.
information. This time around,
Jatuh
PRX had there.
jaga dari Masnya Ferdinand, hati-hati, masih Marcelino Ferdinand, masih Marcelino Ferdinand, masih Marcelino, oh masih Marcelino, masih Marcelino, berputar, ada kita memiliki Kambuaya, enak saja Ipa, ada Arhan, langsung ke depan, arahkan dari Marcelino pada Marcelino Ferdinand, di bola di Vietnam yaitu Sultan Tunai tadi itu tapi
Maybe when that's not they were looking for. Two players down immediately. Forsaken spin and hero before, but down to just 5 HP. That's really good work to Seekers. But mid sort of towards the A side. The realization is there.
Arhan pertama sempat lagi untuk Indonesia menciptakan peluang. Arhan jauh langsung ke udara. Arahkan daripada Justin. Ada Marcelino Ferdinand.
Divido has done well. Bringing back 2 kills.
Arahkan kepada Arhan pertama. Masih Arhan.
Nice work inside the Munchkin. Teaming up with Texture. It leaves this man who did get healed up early in the round. I said he's been ever so devastating. Showstopper might just be able to kind of shoot him into the Viper's pit.
Indonesia. Peluangnya sangat baik dari Egy Bumbaru.
Doesn't even mind about the pit. I don't know if Taker realized it, but it doesn't even matter. Loses the fight to his counter raise. The march continues on for Gen.G.
Gen.G. are having a field day right now. Like I mentioned, the economy was in their favor. The lost that were there for PRX. Doubling that round to try and get some semblance of an advantage. Divide did incredible. In his position, he stayed down in screens, waiting for the swing out. Munchkin pockets, sacrifice himself. So they slowly try and trade it. But had that beautiful off-line, just breaking the shreds. We're seeing elements of that team like that from PRX.
Ada sekitar 5 pemain Indonesia di kotak penalti. Oh, 5 menit tambahan waktu cukup lama Bung Marum. Semoga saja Indonesia bisa menahan kemenangan ini. Karena target Vietnam pun sebetulnya hanya menahan imbang, tapi Indonesia harus bisa mengalahkan Vietnam di Gelora Bung Karno malam ini. Tendangan penjuru, Arhan Pratama sudah menunggu Justin Hamdan dan kawan-kawan. Lakukan sudah sangat baik.
I said it looked like a different team. I think they're a team that have done really well
Ada
with
kita
the
Bang
coaching
Jai.
staff, sometimes legendary solo. I
Biasa
think
menyala Bang Jai. Menyala Bang Jai. Mantap. Mantap Bang Jai. Umpan kepada Ricky Kambuaya. Ada Egy Maulana Fikri. Pelanggaran jelas pelanggaran dilakukan tadi Vallejo dan Dai sempat bisa menilai sejenak pertandingan nomor
Iya, sedikit menurunkan tempo, menurunkan situasi, menurunkan tensi, mengatur napas kembali, melakukan reorganisasi karena dari Vietnam punya kesempatan yang hampir saja membuat kita sangat yakin tadi. Tapi penampilan impresif dan ketenangan Jai membuat semuanya menjadi bisa tertekan.
Edi Maunafik berdua dengan Pak Suarman. Gagal tadi kita lihat. Sedikit melakukan provokasi dengan acting yang sangat luar biasa. Baik dilakukan oleh Pak Suarman.
Khas dari Vietnam memang provokasi dorong biasa, dorongan biasa. Terlambat sebenarnya. Jadi wasit pasti sudah melihat ada jeda sebelum dia menjatuhkan diri tadi.
Sedikit bingung tadi kita Edi Maunafik dari drama yang dilakukan oleh Pak Suarman. Kembali serangan balik kepada pantauan. Arah kepada Jai Ijas tadi. Oh, Edi Satrio. Adi Satrio. Aison. Oh, disapu saja oleh Ricky Kambuaya. Batuel. Marcelo Ferdinand. Batuel lagi kita lihat. Ramadan Sananta. Masih Ramadan bisa mengejar. Luar biasa Ramadan. Masih Ramadan. Oh, nampaknya nampaknya semoga saja Ramadan Sananta mendapatkan berkah di bulan Ramadan ini Bung Maruf.
Ya, karena memang dia juga sempat kita gol ya. Bagaimana ketika dia kali pertama kemudian juga dia debut bersama dengan timnas Indonesia dan dia juga tampil impresif di putaran pertama ketika menghadapi Brunei Darussalam dari 6 gol yang diusahakan Ramadan berkontribusi di dalamnya.
Antoan Cai langsung arahkan ke gawang. Ada kita Jai Ijas jatuh kaki lagi lepas dan long. Sempat terobosan hati-hati Arhan. Oh, keluar tadi tidak berhasil diraih oleh Kodan Dai sehingga bola keluar lapangan pertandingan untuk menghasilkan tendangan gawang saja buat Indonesia. Harus bisa bertahan Indonesia dari sebuah para pemain Vietnam dan semoga saja dengan selesainya perpindahan federasi Tom Haye dan Ragnar namun akan menambah kekuatan Indonesia di Madrid nanti Bung Maru pada tanggal 26 Maret.
Dua pemain yang bisa jadi akan berkontribusi besar dan akan langsung mendapatkan kepercayaan kembali dari seorang Sintayong. Beri waktu, beri kesempatan beradaptasi untuk bisa mengangkat prestasi dari timnas Indonesia. Tapi saya tidak membayangkan bagaimana peliknya Sintayong dalam memilih puzzle-puzzle pemain yang diinginkan, terutama di lini belakang dan yang tidak semua bisa tampil.
Oh, luar biasa sangat cepat tadi. Bukan berusaha dikejar tadi. Oh, kosong. Ada Likan Lin. Rifar Yenar. Ada Bukan. Oh, nampaknya pelanggaran justru dilakukan para pemain Indonesia. Hati-hati Indonesia. Bukan langsung ke arah gawang. Ada Arhan. Satu bola ke depan. Arahkan kepada Ramadan. Tapi ada Pak Tai. Kontrol sangat baik. Pak Tai. Ada Pak Surman. Masih bersama ke belakang. Ada Win Philip. Kembali sangat cepat. Ada Pak Tai. Kembali kepada Win. Masih Win Philip. Ada kepada Pak Suaman. Masih Pak Suaman. Direbut oleh Ramadan Sananta. Ada Tianlin. Dihadang saja oleh Justin Abner. Bantuan sangat keras. Ada Huang Ruj. Direbut dikejar kira oleh Pak Yenar. Berputar-putar dari Huang Ruj. Kini nampaknya lepaskan loh. Ada Ricky Kambuaya. Luar biasa. Ricky Kambuaya. Masih Ricky. Direbut lagi oleh Pak Suaman. Direbut lagi oleh Ricky Kambuaya. Nampaknya dilakukan oleh Ricky Kambuaya. Tadi
Ya, memang Ricky harus melakukan itu karena sudah terlambat berbahaya. Dan tidak apa-apa, sedikit memberikan
Gen.G winning out every single
nampaknya semakin menyala Gelora Bung Karno dengan gilatan flashlight dari handphone masing-masing supporter di stadion Gelora Bung Karno untuk bisa menunggu detik yang sangat menegangkan di akhir pertandingan antara Indonesia melawan Vietnam pada kualifikasi Piala Dunia 2026 di stadion Gelora Bung Karno ini. Hati-hati Indonesia, Silulan tadi jatuh langsung sama saja oleh Arhan dan Indonesia.
I didn't think there was any way that that round was going to become competitive.
Zona Asia Grup F.
The thing is that again, you just have to give props to Gen.G. At the beginning of this round, they were so ready. They had their whole team just waiting in mid, ready for that push to come through. And you saw the utility from PRX was good on some of those players, but the default players were so ready for that push to come in. It ends up being quite an easy fight.
his calling and his play in the video we saw earlier, and I can see why if he's fragging out like that. But again, close but no cigars. 7-2. Gen.G finding next to no struggles. Close opportunity for PRX to clutch it. This could have been very different, but instead they're on an eco. They've already lost something. Stingers to play with. Sheriff on Forsaken.
Sumber energi kehidupan kini tampak berbahaya. Tuan juga berubah. Kekuatan yang ia pun tak bisa dikendalikan. Putri Hijau memutus kekuatan Tuan juga. Mengembalikan alam permai untuk semua.
This post-barn looks strong. Shade's still available. They've been taking these sides so quickly. They've had no problems just having late utility.
Strong taste.
Looks like it's gone trying to make some space, but it's all too easy for Gen.G. Another 3-man player
Aku
surviving.
percaya akan keajaiban alam. Maka kami tidak menggunakan galon sekali pakai. Galon kami disanitasi dengan seksama sebelum diisikan. Aqua 100% murni.
Even the round that was close, Tom, it comes on the back of it like
Satisfaction.
it's not what you want to see. Early on in the series, on a map that previously Gen.G to absolutely obliterated them in their region. Now they come to the international stage.
Selamat datang di lomba matematika.
Sayangnya pintar ya, kamu bisa.
13 for us, well, 13 to you. Here at least it should go. The second one, yeah, just one rocket off point. With Lakia down, looks like PRX are set to finally put another round on the board. Long if they waited, it's Karen to try to challenge, and he got an opportunity. He was shut down eventually by something, but only one standing. It's an easy win. 8-3. PRX finally back on the board, but
Puasa,
hell of a
siang
distance
udah
yet to go.
lemas. Kenapa ya, Mas?
Saat puasa, tubuh bisa lemas karena kekurangan mineral deh. Minumlah mineral yang mengandung mineral penting buat tubuh selama puasa. Le Mineral, penuhi kebutuhan mineral selama berpuasa.
Kenapa aku pilih le mineral? Soalnya cuma ini nih yang masih ada segelnya. Debu jadi nggak akan masuk di sela-sela tutup botolnya.
Benar, le mineral disegel secara khusus sehingga terjamin kebersihannya.
Le Mineral.
Obviously it's something that can be dropped, but they are waiting for a correction now.
It's coming. It's coming. They wait in the right spot, though. Those ops are elsewhere. And that mid control's going to be completely conceded. The golden gun on Lakia. Good to see him showing up. Really swinging.
Rumah lebih dari sekedar tempat dinding yang beratap. Rumah penuh dengan momen yang dilalui bersama. Lindungi momen-momen berharga itu bersama Dulux Weather Shield Power Flex dengan Triple Defense Technology.
Cobain Fresti baru dari daun teh pilihan apel, lemongrass. Fresti, paduannya nikmat.
Which is exactly what it's done.
This is so massive. Backside once again. Spike is wrapped around in the other direction. Peek out from
10 dari
something.
10 wanita ingin kulitnya lembut. Sabun susu Larvia dengan ekstrak susu kambing. Meresap lebih cepat, lebih dalam, lebih luas. Larvia, makin dipakai, yakin membutuhkan. Ada lotion susu juga. Yang ada, kambing cantiknya. Puasa, siang udah lemas. Kenapa ya, Mas?
Saat puasa, tubuh bisa lemas karena kekurangan mineral deh. Minumlah mineral yang mengandung mineral penting buat tubuh selama puasa. Le Mineral, penuhi kebutuhan mineral selama berpuasa.
Kenapa aku pilih le mineral? Soalnya cuma ini nih yang masih ada segelnya. Debu jadi nggak akan masuk di sela-sela tutup botolnya.
Benar, le mineral disegel secara khusus sehingga terjamin kebersihannya.
Le Mineral.
Lakia leading the charge and plenty more left in the tank for this second half.
Dengan kurma alami memberikan cita rasa Nusantara.
On their attack, this was a really, really rough scenario for them to have to fight back from.
Yeah, it is definitely a
Selamat datang di
troublesome
lomba
position to be
matematika.
here,
Sayangnya pintar ya,
the
kamu
fact is,
bisa.
there's
Kan selalu
definitely
rajin
still
belajar. Dan
opportunities.
minum Vision
Even still,
Premium.
though,
Baru
you said
Vision
like he is
Omega
performing.
memadukan susu segar dan coklat premium inovasi omega 3 dan 6.
Nikmat.
Dukung akal cermatnya.
GENG 스포츠 소속으로 활동하고 있는
Bu, aku bersihin kamar mandi dulu ya, 5 menit.
Bersihin kamar mandi nggak bisa cepat. Pakai pembersih lantai, ngikatnya lama. Pembersih keras, baunya nyengat.
Ganti ke Harpic. Tidak seperti pembersih lantai, formula Harpic lebih kental, hilangkan noda dan kerak hanya dalam 5 menit. 10 kali lebih bersih, wangi tahan lama.
Cuma 5 menit.
Pinter juga mamamu.
Kan Harpic.
Harpicnya well ibu ya.
Ingat toilet, ingat Harpic.
Within the side, they have to go running in though.
Pas puasa haus kasih sayang. Cil aja lah, bareng Sprite. Tapi kalau udah buka,
피드백을 많이 해주는 게 자신감은 늘 넘치고 그리고 이제 진짜 더 잘하는 모습과 더 좋은 모습 이제 플레이오프 있으니까
Mudah dan serba bisa. Pakai Primo. Download sekarang. Primo. Baru, Frisian Flag Korean Strawberry. Perpaduan Korean Strawberry dengan kental manis dari Frisian Flag yang 100 tahun dipercaya di Indonesia. Ditangani ahli nutrisi terbaik, dilengkapi dengan vitamin C.
PRX, their attack side is about to be put to the test, and the big thing to write home about last time was something diving into sight. The
Dukung
thing
kuat
is,
berenergi.
causing a lot of chaos for us. Now it's a little bit more conventional, but that's never the name of the game with PRX. In he goes, something's looking for a fight. Paranoia is perfect. Snake bites even better.
Rama dan format kenyamanan. Don't worry, no rugi. Rama dan Traveloka saling melengkapi perjalanan dengan banyak diskonan.
Versus one, with Meteor left standing at his back. Open, that's a mistake. And it almost was a costly one too.
pas puasa haus kasih sayang. Cil aja lah, bareng Sprite. Tapi kalau udah buka,
Indahnya warna alam sangat bulan Ramadan. Jadi pengingat untuk selalu bersyukur dengan hidup. Damainya warna biru bahagia.
But also, it just almost, we're going to continuously see the switch up of who's going in first. So you're going to have Forsaken sometimes taking space for something, maybe if he has that operator in hand, and something in that round taking space for Forsaken. They are a deadly duo, whether the Yoru's there or not.
There's a reason they're going to this combo after all. Nice shot by Meteor. Opportunity for more, and he's landed that shot as well. Forsaken's very low, a big help to any teammates that end up taking that fight. We may talk about the Outlaw, but this man's making it work with the Marshal.
Loads of time. They don't need to over-aggress. They've just thrown out the guiding light, the flash, to get them a little bit of extra information. Still no weaponry found now. Karen does have himself a paranoia. He's brought up his full belt of utility. If he can somehow isolate one of these duels, for now at least it seems like he's waiting for that site to be taken. Smoke will give that away, the spike being planted, and now he can look to try and see if there's any gun to be had, and well, there you have it.
Thank you, Yeti. Yeah, we've got a Bulldog to play with, 100 HP, a Paranoia still online, both smokes. Timing is key, and they swung him together. That's a 3-2-1, perfectly on cue. They won the round, Tom. 3 players down. This definitely isn't how they would have wanted to start it. When I add to that it's a Marshall headshot, okay, what can you do? And another Marshall headshot from a guy pushing a smoke close range, using it like a shotgun. That's not going to feel great. And the other player died to a snake bite. So, few kind of random engagements that ended up, well, rocking the boat a little bit for PRX. We'll see how they recover.
But the thing is as well, the player you really don't want those odds to be going over to is Meteor. 3 away from the Bladestorm, even just a bit of damage in this round, and he'll have something for the next. This purchase from PRX has players now fairly low on cash. You've got Forsaken and Mindfreak down at 150 credits. So for the next round, they might be in a little bit of trouble. Forsaken, though, he's just got walkabouts. He's sprinting after Lakia, but he isn't going to be able to land the shot. At least for now. It's only going to be the control that's lost for Gen.G.
No heavy price tag associated. Down in Van, this is an uncouth hold. 2 players, and they're dropping in, landing on each other's head. It could couldn't be easier for Lackey. Assigned, sealed, and delivered to this man with the heel up for his teammate. Munchkin's going to be back up in fighting form. And in a 5v3, that's another nail in the coffin for PRX. Tagged up a little. A ranged fight, and what an adjustment from Munchkin. Clinical. As now there's only 2 attackers standing, their chances are looking pretty slim.
Yeah, he almost killed Divide through the screen as well, so he's going to be half HP entering the site. They don't even know the Munchkin's there. A perfect reposition. This might be a flawless return to form as Divide's the only man left standing. 1v5 scenario. Talk about can he do any semblance of damage. As said, they invested some extra credits into this round, so the next round's not exactly going to be pretty. Normally talk about saving, but I think actually holding onto a gun here would have more value, and he's just been seen and knowing exactly where he is now. I imagine there's going to be pressure placed onto this man. Blast packs could be thrown in, but it's just going to be the entirety of the squad looking to just jump down upon him within those last few seconds. Well, it's not even needed. First one gets the job done, and Gen.G will extend their lead.
5 players alive. You know, it's a little scary because it feels like since the very beginning of some of these halves, Gen.G haven't had a problem when it comes to economy. And I think for this 6-9 scoreline, PRX attack side, they get a decent buy out of it. But, you know, it might even seem weird if you look at the timeline. You lose the 3rd round after winning first 2. What's the issue? The issue is the damage done. 2 players alive coming out of both of those rounds. It meant constant reinvestment. And PRX now left with a Stinger and a Sheriff. Light shields on most players. Some heavy disadvantages to play with in that orb. Well, I mean, it kind of has worked because Munchkin fell into it, but not doing exactly what they
It's not going to cover up above. They've had to re-smoke it. Again, an explosive start to the round. Almost a kill. Well, I say almost. As mentioned, this was a weaker purchase. They had some pieces missing with that Sheriff and Stinger. Now, though, you look towards the players of Gen.G. And this 2v4 scenario. Flash is already going to reveal Texture's position. And they've spotted Karen as well. Although I say that, the peek out never really came in. The player behind the back of the site should have probably seen him. Now it gets a little bit more interesting. Space given to Texture, but it's both shots landed by Mindfreak. He's been quiet so far, but popping a couple of heads with the Sheriff isn't going to go amiss.
This is definitely the time to wake up. You know, we gave the same caveat coming into the last half, and then Gen.G ran away with it. But here, a challenge early on, and more importantly, a challenge with so many weaknesses on the board. I mean, this was a round where you have a couple of rifles, and what ends up winning it is a Stinger diving on the site, 2 kills out of a Sheriff to close the round out. Doesn't get much better than that. It was even a classic jumping around the corner to find one of those opening duels in elbow.
It's also now, you've talked about, it's 8 rounds in a row that were lost. An 8-2 scoreline. The difference is now just 2. That's how close PRX have managed to bring this. Going onto their favored side, the B site, under serious pressure. Half the team still waiting patiently. Karen's reposition. It's sublime. He's managed to TP behind them. He gets away with murder. Brilliant from Karen. We talk about picking this player out of ranked. He's put the rank play into the pro play.
And it works. You know, sometimes you just got to throw out those curveballs. You're focused on so many different things. You don't think the Lunatic's going to be up top, but my goodness, what a reposition from him. And clearly one that wasn't expected on the other side. And again, we fall back into economy discussion around this squad. They've been sitting pretty. They've been looking fantastic. They were able to obviously rebuy in this round because of the damage done early on. And well, they only really needed one of those rifles by the looks of things. A timeout called by PRX as they can now feel that it's getting very late into this game. We're at a stage where if Gen.G picks up one more, they'll be knocking on victory's door. So, yeah, 17 and 14. He's had a great game, but I think that double kill from Munchkin, that tripled his kills.
Mindfreak.
I said Munchkin, sorry, I meant Mindfreak.
Yeah.
Munchkin's been doing well.
Yeah, Munchkin's got triple his kills, that'd be impressive. But yeah, no, Mindfreak's definitely had a quiet performance. I also think something, like we talked about the duelists in this matchup, other than, I'd say even Forsaken, they've actually all been a little bit underwhelming. It's been other players stepping up in this matchup, and I think that's really what we're seeing at the moment is the depth of both teams individually, but more so just that interplay. I think we're seeing much better fundamentals out of Gen.G, and it's mostly been those explosive plays from PRX, like going off the back of a paranoia, everybody diving in together, and you see if it's even a slight bit disjointed like that round, Karen just pulls out a crazy play and is able to win the round for them. 10-7, as you said, everything on the brink here. Seekers available. On the other side, a Bladestorm as well for Meteor, but I don't know if he'll use that in this round unless he sees the value. An immediate setup for the Paranoia, but this is a ruse. The spike is over on towards B.
Forsaken. Decay is going to fade, but he's still half HP, and Munchkin finds it too easy to deal with him. One well-placed shot, and he's down and out. Now we need to see the return for Gen.G as another is found. Something falls. 2 rifles still in play. Seekers still in play, and a few flashes here. Is found. Something falls. 2 rifles still in play. Seekers still in play, and a few flashes here and there. One, in fact, just on divide. For them to fight their way back through with utility, but it's this man's position that might get them something. He's found another with the weaker weapons. This man's an animal. Oh, he's being put down. And for PRX, they look to take it elsewhere, but those steps are heard. Meteor's in position, unbeknownst to them. You might have her trail, but, well, it's a little more difficult to deal with her cleanly. Mindfreak, the last man standing, 1v3, and Munchkin's already spotted him. He's a known quantity with a flank underway. Munchkin just needs to buy some time, back off, and let his teammates take it. He gets this kill, he's got himself a Viper's Pit to play with. If he dies,
That's the thing, he's literally just playing with him because he knows that flank is coming. I really love it, but it was brought up by Lack here in the halftime interview that he believes that playing with someone like Munchkin has brought a lot of depth to his own playstyle. And you can just see the intelligence even in this round. He literally just pulled Mindfreak from bottom. He had no plans to fight him at any stage. Wants to just play the higher percentage play, and that's why Gen.G have been able to convert a lot of these advantages. And for PRX, a lot of the time I don't mind these gambles, but I feel like Forsaken has been one of the sort of glimmers of hope. So you're almost going, he has to get something, otherwise it's just now a push without him going into the site, and it didn't work with him.
You know, the thing is for PRX right now, at an eye test, you might think it's not doom and gloom. 11-7, 4-round gap, it's not that bad. It's a chance for them to fight back, albeit here with weaker weapons, but they've looked good there. The problem is, they've won 4 of those 7 rounds off the pistol and follow-up. Like, the injection of rounds early half makes this look like a much closer game than it is, but Gen.G have been dominating in rifle rounds. Now they've got 4 ultimates to fall back on, up against weaknesses, but no Lakia. A big opening kill for the side of PRX, as Heaven could now be theirs. Gen.G might start to panic, might make a mistake, and with Munchkin inside the smoke isolated, that might just be the mistake they were looking for.
Oh, this could be big! He actually switches away, and it's just going to be the shutdown, surely, from Meteor. He starts off the round and ends it as well. 12-7. This map looking over. As you said, in terms of buy rounds, we've barely seen anything. 3 of them, in fact. Well, guess what, Mitch? They need 5 in a row.
5 in a row up against 4 ultimates. Only the Bladestorm that's gone. Like, keep in mind, Gen.G have a full buy with Seekers, with a Viper's Pit, with a Showstopper. Shadows. And so that's a lot for this defensive side to close out this game. If you remove those ultimates, it looks like they'll close out the game. Because they're winning almost all of the buy rounds this far. The closer rounds for PRX have been individuals.
Ya bisa,
Individually
ada
and
otolotnya,
together.
langsung
5 in a row
gitu,
needed.
Pak.
The challenge already underway.
Found early utility to try and slow this push a little bit, but the fact is, they're estimating the pacing. Black here in the corner, but they expect it. He's stuck in the mud. Good utility usage in this round. It leaves now Karen. He's had some magical plays. They know exactly where he is. Well, it seems so. One here goes bouncing past him. There is a flank. Really watching, although it seems like Texture was doubting the player behind. Also,
something wrong,
it won't matter in the end.
Kalau lu kalah sama Phantom Team, berarti ada sesuatu yang bermasalah.
Ada something wrong.
Something wrong. Tapi serius gak, jarak segitu, lu kalau kalah sama Phantom ya, berarti ada masalah sama kamu. Phantom tuh diciptakan buat nge-spray sama jarak medium gitu, sama dekat.
What the?
Jadi mau ini gak punya? Nggak boleh lu. Buang dulu makanya.
Semudah itu, babi.
Wow.
Lumayan aku dia.
The flame of Paper X's early fight. This squad's gonna have to go back and reconsider surely. Just a direct
Gila, counternya keren banget, gila. Mereka volley aiming, terus fokus si Poseidon aja. Now they're just throwing, bro.
Being able to get rid of Meteor is a big pick, because that was looking like map control and a man advantage for Gen.G. And a man advantage for Gen.G. Instead, much more of a problem, and also bear in mind, Lackey is the only one who can't be healed.
That cam there is very important. Just seeing something clear the spawn, you see how much space they lost, because this Viper's Pit isn't just stopping a push, it's stopping all of Paper X's plans. Their plan was to blitz A, they get slowed, they get stopped, and now they have to go back and re-clear everything. Even if there's not a player flanking, if they're just pushed up in B main, holding that aggro intel, you're going to find it very hard to actually dive in. Now this TP is to B side. Up top, it's going to be broken last second, but something down below, spotted and taken down. Gen.G have the advantage. They're going to challenge Munchkin inside the pit. And what a mistake that was. Welcome to his world with Munyet, the last man standing, and a free kill presented. He's got 3 more to go.
15 seconds.
He's found the 4Ks in the past, Dom, but this would be exceptional. Good luck to you and good night.
Yeah, it just wasn't enough there. And the fact is, the running through of that Viper's Pit with the spike, they needed to clear that man out immediately. It did not happen. A stellar map, losing both pistols and only losing 8 rounds. What a performance for the side of Gen.G.
It's even more impressive considering Munyet on Paper X, a player that we've highlighted again and again, that was a big talking point, not just from the desk, but even from the team themselves when they were being interviewed. And he comes out fragging. The calls were good. We had some good fake plays, but at the end of the day, this was a Gen.G map. 13-8 doesn't sell it. This was convincing. And now they move on to their pick of Lotus after this.
Hey guys, it's Jimmy Lin. In this series, I'm going to walk you through attack on Pearl. Watch out for the stairs, clear this angle. You're going to be able to fight this.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Everybody jump right now with the world crack. Feel the bang in your head like it's whiplash. Can you feel that? All this back and forth to be free. But you can't tell me what's good for me. If everybody jump right now with the world crack. Feel the bang in your head like it's whiplash. Can you feel that? All this back and forth to be free. You can't tell me what's good for me. You can't tell me what's good for me. You can't tell me what's good. Jump right now with the world crack. Feel the bang in your head like it's whiplash. Can you feel that? All this back and forth to be free. Cause you can't tell me what's good for me. With the world crack. Feel the bang in your head like it's whiplash. Can you feel that? All this back and forth to be free. Cause you
Hey guys, Mika PRX here, and I'm with Solo and Jen here to help with some translation. So Solo, of course, a lot of teams talk about how PRX is a very shocking team to play against if you don't know them well, but Gen.G does know them well. So how do you as a team dissect their style?
PRX가 익숙하지 않으면 그 플레이 스타일에 상당히 당황하기 마련인데 좀 젠지 같은 경우에는 PRX 스타일에 대해서 충분히 잘 알고 있고 잘 분석이 돼 있잖아요. PRX를 상대로 좀 어떻게 경기를 풀어나가려고 하셨나요?
일단 PRX가 진짜 많이 공격적인 팀이다 보니까 피지컬을 앞세워서 게임을 많이 하는데 저희 또한 피지컬이 지지 않는다는 생각을 하고 있거든요. 그래서 저희도 역으로 저희도 공격적으로 하자는 식으로 많이 얘기를 많이 하고 있고 그런 게 좀 잘 되는 것 같아요. 네, 저희가 피지컬이 좀 더 좋은 것 같아요, 지금.
Of course, PRX infamous for their W gaming, but I feel like Gen.G players can match up to their firepower as well, and I feel like we're shooting more heads too today. So we just came into this matchup with the mindset of, you know what, fight aggressive teams with aggressive attitude. You know, don't be afraid to take those fights, don't give them too much respect, and I feel like we're just having a really good day overall.
Yeah, it's looking really good for Gen.G, so thank you very much. Let's see if they can close this out.
It's not just a good day, they've had a great tournament so far. I'm Yingsu and I'm back here with Mimi and Hypong. You heard it from Solo there. They're confident, they're hitting their shots, they know how to deal with PRX. And Mimi, it's not looking great on the other side.
Yeah, to be quite honest, I think that Gen.G looked like a better PRX in this game, right? They had the ridiculous individual moments, they had the pop-ups, but they also had excellent fundamentals. You compare the info these two teams were getting on their defense with the Sky Yuto. Gen.G was always on point with the rotations, setting up break clears, swinging together, whereas PRX looked like a team who was, you know, playing for the individuality.
Yeah, and the telling thing for me is Gen.G willing to step into that zone with PRX, where, you know, you have the flood pretext or, you know, stacking up bodies and looking very aggressive engagements. Gen.G, we're getting down and dirty with them. I'm kind of coming out on top.
Yeah, you guys are hyped up the rookie. Karen come into this a lot, and here he is in the Verizon high-speed moment, round 17. I mean, you gotta check your corners, man. You gotta check it.
This is exactly the sort of scenario that I'm talking about, right? Making plays like this, getting ahead of this execute. You lose to PRX when you allow them to execute onto you, come up, play very aggressive. And Garrett, I mean, Tom nailed this as well in the cast. There's a sort of rank play that catches PRX off guard because they don't expect people to match their level of unorthodox.
I think that's exactly the point, right? They're used to teams playing back, cowering in fear, playing for flood retakes against a squad like this instead. Gen.G can give it to them. They're so willing to get proactive, to fight into these executes, and their site anchors were constantly staying alive, doing stuff like that, and actually buying time for the team to rotate over and help everyone out, which you contrast that to PRX. Their players were trying to do the same thing, and they were getting owned by the executes.
Yeah, and you saw it in the vibes as well. After every round, they were giving it, they were shouting across the stage. And on the other side for this, for PRX, as we take a look in the AIM Lab shoot-around, Monyet, again, he was kind of one of the players we were really looking forward to watching, but what else has he got?
I mean, he was looking pretty deadly at the start of this map here. Again, super aggressive, almost like in the pistol round. He forgot he was put onto the Omen, still on the race for some reason, jumping in. But there's just a number of situations where you're looking here, and I was talking about, you know, some of the
aggressive plays the PaperX made, they felt very disjointed. It felt like it came down to one person delivering at the end of that sort of play, as opposed to the typical PaperX, too strong on the front line, fragging together.
And I think that's exactly it, right? Like, this is a team that can rely on those moments against lesser teams, can rely on those moments against a team that's not familiar with them, but Gen.G knows them so damn well. They're used to dealing with these individual plays and not letting it get past them.
I mean, we've been here before. I'm not expecting a smile from this man, but I am expecting a solution. Let's hear what Alex had to say ahead of map 2.
Hey guys, I'm here right now with Coach Alex of PRX. So we did see that, you know, although the team struggled on that map, once the side switch and PaperX was on attack, you got some of that momentum back. And we do know that the team is a very momentum-heavy based team. So what do they usually need to hear, like maybe from you, in order to get that push, in order to, you know, get that swing in their favor?
I mean, usually momentum comes when you win some rounds, so I try to just figure out how to win the round. And then if it goes well, you know, then we can snowball.
And I guess calm them down a little bit and make sure that they get their nerves in check, yeah?
Guess so.
Yeah. Okay, let's see if PaperX can wrangle in those nerves and get map 2.
Alex, you've done this before. You made the comeback before. Come on, boys. I want to see them have some fire in their bellies.
Dude, Yinsu, we gotta get you down there. They need this energy for map 2 or they're gonna be in the lower bracket. Looking at this comp, what is this, Mike? The 4th new comp they've played on this map?
Yeah, we've gone back again. We've got the Cypher back in and Monye back on the Raze, so I guess maybe then indicates we did see that on Split. He's going to be the front man here on Lotus.
This does fix the issue of having these flanks open.
Yes.
It fixes that issue. But I think there's another issue in this comp. You're lacking stall util, and on the attacking side, you're way more readable because you only have one piece of smoke util. I think that... Forsaken is going to have to be very specific with how he uses his cages to make up for not having this Viper.
And the big concern last time, actually, is that eyes go towards Divide. His inability to really have impact. I love... His utility and opening up opportunities for PaperX in the mid round was absolutely, it was absent.
I think it's slightly better for them overall. Still has something on the Jet as well, because they had a similar comp to this, but with him on the Reyna. I think this just allows him to do more damage. I like the start though from Gen.G. Oh, okay. They had that 3-man push initially. Didn't expect anybody to still be around the angle. Because of that, they've lost the first battle.
One man down already, but the rest are rotating into the right spot. The read is good from the side of Gen.G as they move to the A side. Here comes PaperX diving a little quicker than expected, but there's the return. They're not expecting this many players to be on that defensive side already. Anchored down, and they're winning the fight, leaving Defy all alone. The 1v2, good damage done, and the follow-up, and he's out of ammo. Knife out, and Karen wins. He brought a knife to a knife fight. 3 kills already. This guy's been sensational.
Got respected from Karen. He's like, you know what? I'm not gonna be the coward. I'm not gonna go and reload.
Respected it.
I'll take you in the 1v1. Well, I'll win it out. And PaperX, that was, again, we talk about the advantages and their conversions. What was that, 5v3? As they get into the site, they get the initial opener and they get an entry, and then they don't convert the round. It's good work from Gen.G, but you always have to look at PaperX and go, these are moments that you expect them to be able to convert. Not the start they were looking for. And again, we're going to see the same proactive approach from the defense, constantly looking to garner extra control. PaperX, they're going straight into the site.
Oh yeah, they're willing to dive. You can tell that as soon as Munyet picks up this agent, then, well, he very nearly died to the turret. Good start, but Spike should at least be plantable. No nade left online for Gen.G. Nothing to really force these players out of the corner. Spike planted. That sees it's keeping him in position. It's only deducted about 10 HP or so because he was so low. So the problem now is you have to fight back through all these close-range angles where PaperX have the numbers to play with on a lot of the fights they're going to take. Decent damage on the headshot, good follow-up, and then it's cleaned house for Gen.G. 2 players lost, not the end of the world.
Yeah, could have been much worse. Interestingly, yeah, something buys shields into that round. So maybe hoping that they could get a kill and he could steal a gun away, but doesn't come to fruition. Texture as well as one off a showstopper going into round number 3, so especially on this map, it definitely is a little bit more difficult to challenge for those orbs, but it might mean that we see a bit more of an aid push, an opportunity to find something there. Well, this is where we are going to get the investment, which you'll be happy. Forsaken is already bringing in an Odin.
Listen, he's a wise man. I've always said that, Tom. And he's just proven my point, isn't he? You won't expect this off rip if you're Gen.G, and a little bit of danger for Texture. That crosshair's lined up on his head, and it's done some damage, some serious damage by the looks of it. Down to 77. Texture's tag lucky has dropped. And we can continue on with the spams. Heals for most players. Divide the only one to stay quite low, not having anyone to bring him back to full fighting health. They're in a pretty good position. The close range spotlight Karen shouldn't be left unchecked. There's still a flash on Divide. We expect that to pop as they move forward. Now, in fact, it's just a double swing, and the same thing there. Exactly. Clean trades for PaperX.
This is going to be fight after fight. Meteor now has to try and pull off some individual brilliance as well. I think a little bit too predictable on when he'd make his move. Munchkin on the other side of the map, and the thing is he could just hold this through to the next round, but I don't expect him to. When there's an opportunity to have an upgrade, maybe take a gun away.
Not a position where you're going to be clear a lot of the time. No multi-start. Player close is low. Divide and Mind Freak both playing without shields and with a bit of dent to their health. Forsaken also with no shields and no head anymore. This is getting very costly. The attacking side with Munchkin not stopping anytime soon. He's already picked up 3, and now he's quickening his pace to the site. The time is so desperately low, and he doesn't know where Divide is. The element of surprise gets PaperX the kill and the round. At what cost?
Everything. Absolutely everything. Every single gun just goes for overhunting a player that was going to have a gun in the next round anyway. I understand wanting to earn those extra orbs up, but this is one hell of an overextension. Just constantly fighting versus a player that had a bulldog and Munchkin. Well, you can already see him smack talking, and it's not the only thing getting smacked.
Attacking side weakness is already seen. Chance for Gen.G to shut down the way back through for PaperX very early on. I know this is a map that both teams can pull to tight contention, but with Gen.G, they've done that extra work on it, picked it into this series. We're in for PaperX. It's early times just now, but with showstoppers online for both squads, we knew this was coming. Munyet's on the way, head caught on the arch on the way through. It slowed him down enough and actually bought some time for Meteor to escape. And for Munchkin to round the corner, no one's going to go down to that showstopper, but it's claimed a lot of space.
Yeah. Oh, they don't realize how close Karen is. He had to move because of the Tiger. Monya's going to try and aggress. This is risky. Multiple players on the other side. Showstopper, he should be dead. He actually almost manages to catch one. Even still, though, for Gen.G, this is looking fantastic. Timing couldn't be worse for something either. It's going from bad to worse for PaperX. They need to find a miracle through these spams. At least been able to get one. They both players still on the spike. The second tower definitely helped them out, but it's only just going through. Too many bullets to dodge there. But Gen.G, they break back immediately. And while we mentioned them losing all their players, it's going to hurt now.
Yes, it absolutely is. Now you see the butterfly effect of that. Well-played showstopper by Texture. As we said, there were 2 online, only 1 found its mark. And then the chaos afterwards. Every time you see someone on PaperX turn their crosshair to look towards an angle where they've just seen someone swing or they've just lost a teammate, they get shot in the back, because that's the exact timing that Gen.G go for the retake on all sides. Gorgeous stuff, 3-1. Odin being kept through, Lakia going way up in my estimations, let me tell you, buddy. And the spams, well, they're not having too much success, but they don't need to. In this round, PaperX have basically nothing to play with. 4 sheriffs.
Well, also, they've already taken the control. That's the main reason. You've got Karen aggressively up. It's allowed for a gamble rotation, so he's just moving that Odin elsewhere. Not the most common door to spam, because you are open to a couple of angles, but it won't matter. And this is the thing. We've seen this scenario many a time. Find a kill, TP back. Karen is excellent at knowing when to reposition as well, so they can leave those. But this is ambitious.
Where is he going? Where is he going? He's made it just about around that corner, but well, that was risky. If they came through that wall, Tom, I'm not sure that would have went the way he was thinking. Spray good for Munchkins, a narrow alleyway to fight in, and wow, that's a lot of damage. No chance for PaperX here. Of course, we did mention they have those weaker weapons. They don't have a lot to play with, and they'll get nothing done. A flawless round. I hate to harp on the economy, but Gen.G off to a flying start with it yet again. Yeah. It's feeling reminiscent of last map, but it is still very early days. Plenty of time for PaperX to find their footing. They don't want to waste time throwing rounds away. They've called a timeout.
That's the funny thing. We might actually get to the point where we can just highlight when Gen.G don't have money.
Yep.
We'll just save time.
Yep. Yep. It's the play.
They've had it the whole time throughout the series. I like the pause, though, coming out from PaperX, because this has been rough. And even looking back versus KC, they struggled when it came to this attacking side. A lot of that was a bit of a peculiar composition, but I don't know if this one's looking any better for them right now. Also, it has a lot of reliance, again, on this double duelist. And there was a moment or two at the beginning where I was like, okay, something looks like he's here to play. But ever since then, they're just getting boomed. And everyone on the other side for Gen.G has looked utterly fantastic. In this round, at least, one off a Blade Storm. Showstopper, the only ult that isn't going to be playing a part in this round, or either side. And Munchkin already having that Viper's count online. And clearly, this is a time where Alex needs to earn his money. Otherwise, I think PaperX are taking that fast track straight to the low round.
At least get that third map out. You know, officials are a different ball game to talking about regional play, especially against a team you've already played on that map. You're testing so many deeper things, and I think for them, bombing out like this in the uppers, it wouldn't speak well for what's to be seen, because Loud Sentinels, they're not going to be any easier.
Yeah, no. I wouldn't want to face up against either of those teams right now. Here we go, though. Again, early paranoia. I think this one is not really going to be played upon. I like the idea, again, using that haunt to get them space, but something, I think he's just going to disrespect the utility. Had enough of these pushes coming through. He is going to get pinged up. They know where he is, and Texture's already there to support.
That's it. They're trying to punish the Odin. They know that it's not easy to fight from this angle, especially when the door gets open, and now he's dead. But that's what it's all about on Gen.G, filling in the spaces and being able to fight afterwards. But with the return from PaperX, they've got a real chance. The headshot angle held by Mindfreak, but Meteor's just ducked underneath it, playing the limbo, and he's winning this game with Mindfreak down. It's 45 HP, and a dream turned to a nightmare. PaperX losing out on another. They had a good pacey take, managed to put the players on the back foot, and filled in every gap that Gen.G were trying to stuff their way into. They always had someone to take that second fight. PaperX had someone to take the third. This time, though, they lose out when it comes to the post play. I gotta say, they really could have used that round.
This is one of those things as well where Meteor's in the 2v2 scenario. The amount of times I feel like I've watched him just get both kills and his teammate's still rotating. Like, he's just so confident at this stage in his individual ability, and even just ducking under where he assumed his opponent would be holding. That was, again, another big round for PaperX. A lot invested, even having some decent early trades, but it isn't to be. And now, well, Blade Storm is really all we could talk about. His initial play almost goes down, but has managed to dodge that singular bullet fired by Texture.
Yeah, the thing is that's sending them elsewhere. Forsaken was trying to claim some space by sneaking through. We saw good success for that. I think when Yad on the previous map was throwing out a few of those feelers. But the idea now is you can't play up against that up. This ain't the round 4. Your Blade Storm's already gone, and everyone else has pistols. Close range, numbers advantage is the way to go, and they've done it. At least trading out the first. Karen, though, he has been consistent every single time they've challenged him. This guy's coming up with multiple. 7-2 right now. Teammate ready to swing, and luckily, because Karen was dropped very quickly, so too is Meteor. Hell, it's winnable for Divine, but his knife was pulled out, trying to evade some spams or some, well, players emerging from the smoke. Unfortunately, he jumped right into their crosshair. 6-1 for Gen.G, and 4 ultimates online coming into round number 8.
It's one of those scenarios where, again, PaperX have made some of these rounds look somewhat competitive, but Gen.G are consistently able to clutch out the late round. Again, as you said, ults are in their favor, finances are in their favor. There's at least a lot coming online in this round for the side of PaperX. Counter operator going to be invested into on something. He has had a very quiet start to this game, and a reaction shot from Texture already puts down Monyan.
You see the idea as well? We see the aggression, we try to take space elsewhere. Denied on A because Gen.G are getting aggressive, giving PaperX a taste of their own defensive medicine. This is a really good start with 4 ultimates to fall back on, 3 of which will help you out if you're in a pinch. For PaperX, where do they go? Where do they take it? Maybe they can get a neural theft if they can even drop a body. And they cannot. A wallbang kill with the Odin from Lakia. That's something dropped. That's the op down. And he's looking for a little bit more. I don't know where they're going to take this on the attack, but I think I know what the result will be regardless.
Forsaken's been quiet as well, and reposition. Nice shot at least. Make things that little bit more interesting. The reveal as well will tell exactly where their opponents are. Knowing there's only one player here, the turret though, keeping things disruptive. And Meteor, again, full sprinting to help his teammate out. It gets close for a matter of seconds, but Gen.G continue their utter dominance in this match. 7-1 on the defense. I don't know, yeah, second pause is going to be called for PaperX. At this point, I feel like they're running out of ideas. I also just did tidbit as well. Last 3 times Gen.G have won, played and won this map. 8 rounds on attack, 9 rounds on attack, 9 rounds on attack. They're 7-1 up on defense. No, I would say that's very bad if you're a PaperX fan.
That's quite poor. Yeah, and the reality is for PaperX, you're looking at the last time they played this map against this squad again. You know, I was looking back at that series, which worked perfectly for me today because it's the same maps. But the funniest thing is something. He was on the Reyna and he was popping off. He was doing well. Is it justified Reyna pick? Maybe not. But we know on a good day he absolutely can. This time, I don't care what agent he's playing. He's having a damn tough time. 2-8. Compare that to Split last time, finding so many opening entries on that attack side. Now listen, I'm going to be the last person to complain about Jet dying on the attack, right? Often that's your job. But here we haven't seen those dive plays as consistently. At least that hasn't been the crux of their attacking side. The problem is, how many rounds have we seen where literally 10 to 15 seconds in, it's 3v5. No control, no benefit for it. One guy goes down, they push somewhere else, that guy goes down, then they sit there with nothing to do.
Think about the spots that Gen.G are also willing to claim. Like, they pushed out 2 players in all the way past Mound. They weren't even holding the deep angles anymore because what's the point?
And they pushed A with 2 players in the same round. Yeah. Right? So like, this is the thing. You even peek your head out and you go, oh, are they rubbled? Yep, they are. I'm dead.
Yep, they're everywhere.
Now we have no advantage. We're playing
They're going to push B. It looks like they are. Insta smoke. B control being taken by 3 players. Just waiting to see if the push will come through in that direction. It's going to allow them the fast take back of this control. Paranoia immediately put through. The trade's not awful in the beginning, but they quickly divulge into nothing for the side of PaperX. Forsaken trying to claim it back though. Finally, he comes alive.
Well, this is the round that he needed to wake up in. That spike is theirs, and they can walk it straight to the seaside once that door is closed. 16 HP, Mind Freak on 42, but Texture's got an ult and an aid, and a snake bite left. This could be very, very dangerous indeed. For now, though, Texture's not deploying the nade. Instead, sitting down, op in hand, 16 HP, turned to 0. Nice shot with the operator as Mind Freak now is a nade below him. He's safe up top. He's got the angle, could even pick off Munchkin. That could make it winnable, but Texture's a little too quick. I love it. I think he could fire up that quick.
It's just like, he's got an ult as a negative, and then it's like, no, never mind.
Wide swings and like, all right. we're quick scoping now, but that's the level we've hit for Gen.G. 8-1, Tom. Yeah, I almost wanted to say coming into this map, well, it can't get any worse. It just has. It was 8-2 at least last time.
It definitely is looking like a golf in class, which, again, considering this is the #1 and #2 from the same region, though we've already seen them play a best-of-5 series that was a 3-1, and a lot of the maps were close. It looks like Gen.G have leveled up, and for PaperX, I don't know if they've fallen off, because that's looking like the difference between these two is not the same we've seen before. All 5 ultimates, by the way, Gen.G don't need them. That's actually the point we're in. They don't need the ults. They're just winning the rounds anyway.
Normally you'd be thinking at this point, oh, let's just throw one out just to see.
There you go.
There it is. Okay. Cycle the economy a little bit. Here comes the big rocket, and it's not landed. It's not found the value it needed to. The lockdown has been destroyed, and Meteor was tagged down quite a bit.
That's the value, Rich. That's the value. They got rid of the show. They got rid of the lockdown, so they can at least claim some space. He's screwed. There's no way he survives that.
Messi is giving PaperX a chance, Tom. They haven't landed this fight, but they don't need to. If they win these fights again and again, and they have, Lucky a drop leaves Munchkin 1v3. If he wins this, I'm putting the headset down. They've got a decent amount of HP, and they've lost Mind Freak. Okay, but it's all right. They've still got 2 players, no utility to play with. They're going to just take these fights, not one at a time. That's the only thing I beg of you. Not one at a time, not up against Munchkin right now. He's 11-4. He's been winning round after round, but a reposition by Forsaken. The swing is good. And the double peak wins the day, 8-2. Deja vu for PaperX. And, well, Gen.G got to be feeling confident. The good thing is they used 3 ultimates there.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They lose their rounds, they use the ults. That's the weird thing about it. And again, a lot of this just came down to some brilliant individual play from something, finally putting a couple of kills on the board. The fact is they did peak Munchkin individually. First player peaks, dies, second gets dinked, and it's only finally they reposition. I think we would have needed a new desk completely for Alex if they managed to lose that round, but it's scary that it even got close.
I think just get rid of the desk, man. Punch it back with an LED screen in it.
Whose face is on it?
It depends on the game. Make it interchangeable. Well, Forsaken's picked off Karen. That's a fantastic kill. Look how open the A side is. And they've made that realization. There's no further challenge. There's no utility. There's no reaction from Gen.G. So Forsaken realizes it's wide open, and he gets caught by Lakia. That timing was near perfect. You have to, well, I mean, you can call it a mistake. At the end of the day, he was open to like 6 angles, so he has to just be clearing those, constantly being paranoid about them. The site, though, is lost, and PaperX will find the plant nonetheless.
Showstopper online. Not wanting to allow them to set up something's going to try and get aggressive, but it's not going to manage to land the shot. Now, I think the flash through the back might have actually caught Munchkin. So he's going to actually reposition through B instead. Move away from the flank. Position's open. I think it's because Divide's having to check too many angles. The Seekers at least will give it away. Showstopper has been thrown in. He might get caught by all of the Seekers, but his teammates got his back, and that means he'll be able to kill off Mind Freak. The remaining players, a bit of an obscure position. Munyet has not been cleared yet, and because of that, he's going to be able to deny the defusal, the spam doing so much damage, and now it's all on to Divide with an operator. First shot missed, but he just needs to kill the guy defusing, and he's done enough. There's no time left. Finally, PaperX pull out the miracle rounds we've seen from them, but everybody will go down with the ship.
Well, it's the same thing as what we saw before, Tom, right? They're getting this little resurgence towards the end of the half. This time, PaperX didn't have the pistol to help them out. They were both on the previous map, putting them up 4 rounds, and they ended on 8. But here, they're doing it on the rifle rounds. They're doing it in the clutches as well. As close as they may come, it's still giving them that little bit of a heartbeat to continue on forward. Now, this round, the last of the half, Gen.G come in with a Viper's Pit. That's going to be a problem to fight through on the defensive side, or potentially a very strong tool for retakes.
It's scary when it's a Red Bull clutch that gets you your 3rd round, but as long as they're getting the rounds, I don't think they're going to mind too much. This battle has now changed. It was previously Karon being solo, and now it's Texture, and his operator has been fierce.
Looks like they're going to go back into it. Is there a flash? Is there anything? No. No, It's just a dry, wide peak by one yet. Players up top looking to trade, but Texture's out of the angle too quickly. PRX have given him another shot, and it looks like another bite of this apple. As around comes another, but finally the miss is there. Texture gets the reset though with low HP. He's dancing around, but he's being caught. There's no escape this time, and with Lakia falling, a real chance emerging for an 8-4 half. It looks like PRX have finally woken up. They found some punishment impact. Let's see. Meteor's on his way in. Up close with a teammate further away. Munchkin's making a lot of noise. They're trying to find an angle to deal with him, and instead running into Meteor. Well played. Now they can group up and try to force this 2v2 with the Viper's Pit. That was a little scary. Thought Munchkin was about to be spammed, but now they've got a lot of space as they close in the distance. No snake bites to play with, though. That could help out, keep them way out of this pit, and with Munchkin falling, it's done. PRX 8-4 at the halftime. They found some legs to stand on, some foundations laid. The second half will be tough if they lose the pistol.
Yeah, they're almost identical to what we saw in the last half. A streak of rounds, that's just disgusting. I was thinking from Paseka's point of view, I didn't even really see anything. That's how good Texture has been. But again, it's those player deficits that are actually what turned the tides over there. Well done for PRX to at least get something.
Well, Tom, it's time now to toss this one over to Divide, who had some words to say earlier.
It's like a stressful game. I feel like, for me personally, I feel like we are playing against ourselves because the way they play is kind of like similar. You know? I mean, trying to outsmart them. I mean, they were very good. I would say they are smart, and they're kind of like one step ahead, especially on Lotus. They did exactly what we were watching them. Like they bots, like they play the same. Like they're not scared, even though it's like I think for some of them it's like their first time in Masters. GEN.G, I mean, the good thing is probably we might be able to get some revenge, you know. I mean, we lost to them in the Pacific kickoff, and yeah, I mean, I think Texture is giving us a lot of problems, like just killing us, like punishing us over and over. And also, Karon was playing insane as well, even though he's a newcomer. But I think he's probably like the top player in the league. I think he got MVP as well in the Pacific kickoff, and yeah, I mean, insane. Yeah, maybe we go back and cook some strats, you know, to cook these two.
Divide has certainly been cooking 15-9, exiting that first half, with the next closest player being something. Pretty good player, pretty well respected. He's got 6 kills, almost a third of what his teammates rocking. It's been tough for the side of PRX. They haven't found a lot of success, but that little 3-round streak to close out the first half, Tom, it's given them a chance here. We want to see them take the pistol.
Yeah, we want this to be a competitive match that it definitely has not been. GEN.G looking like a competitor for the crown, and thus far we haven't seen the PRX that we know and love. This pistol round might just be a deciding factor, but a great start from Monyet. Already pushing aggressively on the other side is something waiting for someone to try and make their move, and he's going to go back for a little bit more. Has to use the dash to get out of there, and is now waiting for the cavalry to arrive as the rest of the team somewhat far away. An opportunity, but Forsaken with a good trade.
Keeping the numbers in their favor. Something needs to do a little bit more. He's done some damage, and there's the follow-up. A shot right to Texture's temple. That's going to put us in a 4v2 with PRX. Definitely favored to take this pistol now. Forsaken fallen. A little bit more of a chance. Something, though, delivers. Okay, he's up top and not spotted. Easy peasy. That's a 3K for Something. Looks like even he's starting to heat up.
That's exactly what they need. Just him having confidence. Because you look at some of the fights he's taken, and there's definitely risks about it, but that's always been his play style. Even on a Gecko, he's basically an op main, so then get the finances built up early, get the orbs rolling on the duelist, which is exactly what's happened thus far. Get that sniper into his hands. This game can definitely slip back. As said though, the majority of the matches we've seen, be it mostly in Pacific, Gen.G have been much more consistent on their attack.
Pistol win then was essential for PRX. Now the follow-up looks easy. Very little to play with for Gen.G, and even if they drop something, he's the player that's rocking with the pistol. So the margin for error's already been reached here. Any further kills will be costly, will force some level of reinvestment from the side of PRX. But on the defense, they can keep distance, and with the buy that Gen.G have, they're definitely not favored on ranged fights.
Will be solo, but you can see the rotation already coming out from Munyet. Jump peek will give him the info to go back in with that Marshall. This is a round that they shouldn't really have any opportunity to win. The weaponry not falling into their hands off the kills they've garnered, and players they're pushing into are actually just going to start pushing into them. A good round from PRX as they manage to bring things again back within 2. It has been the buy rounds where Gen.G truly have been a level above.
Wow, just look at you besides something. This is a round that often you're going to look at as an eco, but 3 orbs away from a Blade Storm means he can force up here, buy an operator, and potentially have a Blade Storm, even if they lose the round. With how consistent he normally is with that op, I would definitely put stock in him finding at least the 2 orbs. 1 kill and a death. We'll see what he can get up to.
It also means they can gamble for control. They've got him holding onto the A side, an aggressive position from Munyet. This is not really the gun you want to have here, but somehow he gets out of there unscathed. They also had an initial setup for players outside C, but after that spot comes through, fading back. Now the cross has already happened, so something now in a pretty deadly position, and honestly, I think Meteor's a little bit lucky there to even get 1.
Well, here's the chance for that operator to finally show its ugly face. Ugly for the side of Gen.G as they lose a player right off rip, and it's Texture, the man with the responsibility to take the space to close the distance. Now they'll be a little bit slower on the way around these corners, which is just perfect for something. He had to be watching the right way though, and Munchkin caught him unaware. The same happens with Divide though, leaving it to a 3v2. Defensive advantage and Divide walkabouts. He's been so good. 19 kills, looking for his 20th and his 3rd of the round. And it looks like he might. Oh, he will get the opportunity, but he's being dropped. Doesn't matter because Munyet's there to catch him when he falls. 8-7. And now this gets me excited for PRX. That round puts them way back in contention because Gen.G got an eco.
Yeah, I like the way they play as well. After the initial spot, that there was at least 1 player lurking. They know that there's an opportunity to potentially steal a gun away. So they can 3-man push. Even a trade there's not too bad, knowing there's some things on the other side. And even though he only gets 1 kill, he does enough to delay and allow for those rotations. Devi as well, though, as you said, he's been fantastic. 19-10, topping the entire scoreboard right now. Something once more. They know he's going to be here. They know there's a high chance he'll be here, and they're actually going to really put the pressure on early.
This from Gen.G, they have players lurking elsewhere. Trap just got broken on B. So now for PRX, they have to be worried about the flank. It means you're not going to have Forsaken there to help with this fight. Instead, something has to do it on his own, and again, he finds Texture. That's a big part of this take. They tried to seize the space with him blast packing in, but instead, they've been left to try and trade it out. 2 versus 3. Meteor's good position has been noted. As we said earlier, they know that trap was broken. They know there could be someone around here. It's why you see Divide wait for Mind Freak, wait even for the plant to come through. While Munyet finishes this flank, it looks like they're aware. Well, they're very much aware that something is going on. I mean, PRX haven't made a move. Why haven't they? Why are they not trying to fight for any bit of control? And that's not something they'll find an answer to until they plant the spike.
It looks like because they've spotted players near B and they're worried about their spawn, they're actually going to go fighting aggressively. This could be a big win if it comes through. Nice work from Meteor. 1 bullet left. And nothing being spotted towards the spawn. This means they know where they are. The peek out is perfect, and he goes back with the pistol. He does it alone. Meteor's going to confirm the MasterCard Thrifty of what was looking like a round firmly in the hands of PRX. Falls to 1 man.
1 man with 1 big gun and 1 medium gun also. Very ambitious to go for this. That could have put it to a 1v1 top, but he was having none of it.
That's what I said about this guy. He knows he'll hit the shot. For some reason, when it's him, a 2v2, and he goes, okay, I've got the first one, he always picks for the second. And weirdly, he always gets it. That's the thing. Every time I'm sat there going, I'm ready to critique, and then he gets the kill, and I'm like, well, fine then. I guess that was the right play.
Well, uncouth, but it works this time. Certainly caught his opponents off guard with Gen.G 9-7 and claiming that round. PaperX at weaknesses. An operator in the hand of something. Look at where he is. It's not really an hopping angle normally, is it? Oh, nice flash, that's good. But he hasn't got the dash anymore. It's faded out. But Munchkin, oh, the shot's missed. And Munchkin's been given a second chance at life while the showstopper is again just, oh, I thought just used for space, but if he fires it out close, no, he doesn't pull the trigger. And now he realizes his mistake as the dive comes in from PaperX. They've got a lot to work with.
The old Stoke should be, well, in theory, forcing them back, but it hasn't happened at all. They went aggressive, made this one problematic. Spike already planted at least, so they're gonna have to respect it and just fall back. Munchkin's still holding, and they have a pretty nasty potential crossfire just with the amount of time that can be bought. Munchkin is just looking at that clock. That's all he really aiming for, sitting back, waiting for the push. He manages to land the first, almost onto the second. But PaperX respond in turn, a back and forth so far in this second half. And they close the gap once again to just one round.
That's the response and resurgence we wanted to see. This game, this map, indeed this series.
He would have killed something if he just shot the bullet. That's got to be so infuriating.
I can understand he doesn't want to give away his position, but you know, you make a decision there. Do you gamble or do you not? And well, he chose wrong. Chips on the wrong coin. Well, 9-8. And for PaperX, it looks like they've really got their hands dug into those reins. The economy is low. We've seen Gen.G win low by rounds. There's a Viper's Pit online with 1 kill for Munchkin, 1 orb, 1 plant. But the main thing is something has got basically an right now. That's a Yassine dash, but it works out for him. No punish. The reposition gets him another kill. Swing out, coming in to the side of PaperX, closing the round in just a second. Blink and you miss it as we're 9-9.
Yeah, they have somehow made this comeback happen. 5-1 in this second half after what was basically, we were at a scoreline where this looked over. What was it, 8-1? And then they went 3 rounds in a row. And that's the thing. You don't really think it at the time because an 8-4 half is still great, but it seemed like Gen.G just let the foot off the gas. A few big plays coming out. Now we're starting to see players rise up. You were mentioning it, the distance between Levi and everybody else was a lot. Well, something has been closing the gap. I'm also just looking at Mind Freak.
Yeah, it looks like they're looking at him too. Karen was trained in on that with Texture finding a field day. 2 HP left on Levi. He'll find it hard to get any impact from this point. A stray bullet enough to take him down. But he's caught Karen off guard. The flash covers his retreat. No more flashes and they don't regen anymore. An opportunity still. No, cut down. 2 versus 3 though. Viper's pick could change the game.
Trying to get in as quickly as humanly possible, but Meteor's there to defend. Leaves it onto something. As said, he's had a real resurgence. They just fall back to enable the reload. Never mind, he's just looking to reposition completely. I think they know exactly where he is, but somehow he still wins the battle. 3 bullets left in the clip. The pit's been dropped. He's already going to spot one, but he's now just down to the classic, and it's a classic v classic. Blacky is the one to take it home. These rounds are getting insanely close, and it's a back and forth once again.
Really is like a pendulum swinging. There's no stability to be found for either of these teams. 2 rounds for PaperX, an immediate answer back by Gen.G, but the fact that it comes down to this, that the Viper is dropped outside the pit, and that's the result. Clean as can be with a final right click to close it. Gen.G, they've got a lot set up in front of them, Tom. There is a showstopper for Munyet. Other than that, everybody is just on the rifles. Credits are low. Gen.G could be on the home stretch very, very soon. And Forsaken in that corner needs value. They've not seen him. He's good for 1 and damage on Texture. Those could be very, very pivotal facts for us as PaperX look to move back through. So many players are low. One extremely low in the corner. It's the Rocket to find him.
That's the thing, though. That trade's all right. That was the low HP player that goes down. I don't think they're going to mind that whatsoever to put it back into a 3 versus 3. Something about to try and go through this. His teammates a little bit further behind. No flash available for Device, so it's just going to have to be the raw push. Already managing to retrieve a rifle, but every member falls. Gen.G now get a double back of their own. And the major worry here for PaperX, they don't have backup credits. They don't have anything in their pockets other than a Blade Storm. This could be the beginning of the end.
It feels that way, Tom. 2-round cap. Gen.G in this series have just been miles ahead when it came to these rifle rounds. And again, it seems strange that 13-8 to talk about it as a dominant game. Yes, it is a strong scoreline, but not damning for the other side. When you look at both pistols, that's a 4-0 start based off of coin flips. And PaperX managed to just about come ahead. When it came to rifle rounds, they weren't able to succeed. That early push, it's not quite a rifle. Instead, it's a set of blades, and those don't even get fired off. They lay by his side as he falls to the floor. Something down, so too is Devi, and they're ready for another player close. There seems to be nothing that PaperX can do to surprise this Gen.G roster in the last few rounds. And with 12 looking like it's on the board, Tom, these players, they have to be feeling the...
Strong, had a massive fall from Grace, made a huge overhaul of this run. And players that have not found success elsewhere. Texture, one I think we can really highlight. Like in G, he was okay. But to go into a Gen.G roster that's now playing for a minimum of top 3 if they win this match. Unheard of, surprising, and now looking like that pinnacle of Pacific. Looking to try and do what no Pacific team has ever done before. Take themselves to an international victory. PaperX are not dead, not down, until you stamp them out.
Definitely looking injured. Path to recovery, 3 straight rounds in OT in the 3rd map. A lot of win conditions. Gen.G, 3 ultimates to fight their way through. PaperX don't have reactive ones, some impactful ones. There's the lockdown, the showstopper. There's the 9-fall. Any one of those can open sights. Pull you out of sticky situations, door open. That was the defenders, but it's covering Munyat's push forward. Problem is, okay, good nade up close. That's going to force that player out in the open. Problem is, Texture was covering it. And now the push on mid is spotted as well. 3 players left for PaperX. And it looks like they've still got a fight in them. Motivated, he's being caught. But, oh, it's fake information. The Shrouded Step has bought a little bit of an advantage for Mindfreak as he's still alive, his HP recovering, but with something down. And Devi, very much known towards that spawn. Mindfreak's on the wraparound, wants to move towards that singular door. For this, Devi needs to buy some time. He still has a flash to play with. There it goes. It's popped and it's cleared out this corridor. Devi's even won the fight. The smoke is down. A chance if Mindfreak can make it to Devi. If they can take this fight together, but they don't know where the last players are. Nade has even forced them back for a second. The time now very low. And with 2 players still to root out, it might be too low. Devi just dodges that seize, but Mindfreak down. The time now not to be played with. Okay, no, Texture went out swinging. There's no chance. There's no chance whatsoever. He had to stick it underneath his nose. And short of a big misplay, it was never swinging the other way. 13-9 and 13-8. A consistent showing from the side of Gen.G as they take victory over their Pacific comrades. It's on to the upper final.
Yeah, it is another huge statement play for Gen.G. No doubt at this stage that they wear the crown when it comes to Pacific. But that's not the crown they're gunning for anymore. They said it at the time. Their goal was to make it to the playoffs. Well, they've made it there, and they've continued to push forward in that upper bracket. A team has said that last year didn't really do too much, didn't really give us much to be excited about. and then bringing together a mix of players that maybe many didn't expect to do well, definitely didn't expect to get this far. They continue in that upper bracket to fight off and be the representative as they face Americas, and they send the previous Pacific champion, a previous finalist at one of these events, down into the lower bracket.
The second map, although only one round in the difference, Tom, this was definitely a much better feeling from the side of PaperX. They earned their way back in from an 8-1 deficit to a close scoreline in the end, but despite that streak of rounds, Gen.G take the victory thanks to map number 1, PaperX's pick, where they just didn't get started. Now that's a big concern for them. Moving on to an elimination series next, they won't get a chance to have a slow start. They've got to come out swinging off the bat. For Gen.G, they get to watch their opponents play, figure out who it is, take some notes. This is a very nice position to be in, and a chance to make a historical run here in Madrid for their region.
But that's always been the thing. Like, we talk about Pacific teams as a flash in the pan a lot of the time. You look at the Zeta run, you could even throw a Chinese team of EDG in there as well, making a run, PaperX making a run. This Gen.G squad, though, it feels different. They have so much depth to them in terms of individual plays, but they have such a solid structure, great trading, and also it just looks like the individuals on that team have leveled up from last year. They look like different players, even if they're in different roles, some coming from the Tier 2 as well. They are an absolute joy to watch. And the fact is, I don't know where this ends for them. They could genuinely be there lifting the trophy.
It definitely feels like they have a long road ahead of them. Hopefully no bumps in that road. And the reality is, you know, Texture for me, certainly someone to take notes on, because this guy, he was good before, but now on the international scene, up against some of the best in the world, and he's leaving his mark. He's already left his mark, and it could get so much more beneficial for this squad as they now get to watch their opponents play, take those notes. I really put so much stock in that. I'm excited to see what this squad can do, Tom.
I think I love the fact that just even hearing them talk about each other, it's Munchkin elevating his teammates. Like, I think that's such a huge compliment. Like, you could say someone come in, oh, he's a great leader, he's playing great individually, like all of these compliments, it's a nice thing, but to say he's come in, as someone has said, one of the first players coming out of Korea, Lakia, to play at a Masters event, and you're going, yeah, this guy has made me better. As someone who's coming in as a relatively new leader, that's such a huge compliment to hear from. And I think that's the great thing about this team. You look at them on the stage, you look at Texture just having a great time, everybody like standing up, like bows and arrows, like this is looking like a completely different squad. And honestly, I am so impressed with what we've seen. Luckily, now we get to hear from Munchkin as he's going to be down on the stage.
La victoria más convincente para Gen.G hasta ahora. The most convincing victory for Gen.G so far, and it had to be in playoffs. Tenía que ser en playoffs. Estoy aquí con Munchkin para que me cuente un poco de lo que ha sido esta partida y lo que ha sido este recorrido. And the first thing I'm going to say is, can we hear it for Munchkin? Can we hear it for Gen.G? Where the Gen.G fans over here?
Thank you.
La primera pregunta es que fue una partida en la que se hacen algunos cambios por el lado de PRX. ¿Había alguna idea y en qué se enfocan especialmente en ese segundo mapa para que el cambio de composición no le afecte a Gen.G y puedan cerrar un 2-0? Munchkin, first of all, congratulations. The first thing I want to ask you is, I want to know what goes behind the scenes when we get to see that PRX composition change on that second map. It seems like it was slipping away, but you were able to take it back right at the end. So what was the focus to make sure that map would go your way?
포커스에서 페이퍼렉스가 조합을 다시 한번 바꿔들고 왔는데 이제 젠지 선수들은 그거에 대해서 어떻게 풀어나가려고 대처를 했는지 궁금합니다. 아무래도 갑자기 이렇게 따라잡히는 모습이 나오기도 했거든요.
일단 저희가 사이퍼 상대를 많이 만나봤었기 때문에 사이퍼 대처 방안에 대해서 일단 첫 번째로 이야기했었고요. 그리고 저희가 중반부터 좀 따로 잡혔던 거는 저희가 좀 방심하고 저희끼리 커뮤니케이션이 잘 안 돌았던 것 같습니다.
Well, we're familiar with going up against compositions with Cypher, so first thing we talked about was how to play against the Cypher comp. And I think when PaperX were making the comebacks, I think we had some miscommunications and mistakes going on, but we were able to, set it straight.
Lo que nos cuenta ese mapa del Lotus es que ya habían jugado en contra de composiciones de Cypher, así que el enfoque principal era cómo tenían que jugar en contra de Cypher, y cuando PRX en esa segunda mitad estaba ganando rondas, el enfoque principal era en que la comunicación no estaba de la mejor forma y después la podían arreglar y cerrar el mapa. Ahora, mientras más vemos Gen.G, mejor se ven. Sí se consideran uno de los equipos que bajo presión puede brillar más comparado a los otros tres que tenemos en estos playoffs. The more that we get to see Gen.G, the brighter and the better you're looking. This time around closing it in a 2-0, do you find yourself to be one of those teams that is able to be better under pressure compared to other teams that we have in playoffs?
계속해서 경기를 치를 때마다 강해지는 모습을 보여주고 있는데 젠지라는 팀이 먼치킨 선수가 생각할 때 좀 부담감이 더해졌을 때 더 잘하는 팀이고 또 훨씬 더 이렇게 좀 긴박한 상황에서 경기력이 더 살아나는 그런 팀이라고 생각하시나요?
사실 저희가 부담감을 아예 안 느끼는 건 아니지만 그렇다고 해서 또 부담감을 많이 받는 건 아니거든요. 사실 부담감이 저희 경기력에 영향을 끼치는 것 같진 않고요. 그냥 저희가 연습하던 대로 계속 대회에서 성장하고 있기 때문에 그래서 더 잘하시는 거라고 생각합니다.
I would say there's a little bit of pressure on us, but not a lot, and it's not going to be a lie. There is a little bit of pressure, but that's not enough pressure to crack us when we're up on the stage or, affect how we perform. And I just feel like we're that type of team that gets stronger and stronger and that can grow as we play and as we make those runs today here in Madrid. So I am very glad that we're able to pull this one off as well.
Dice que definitivamente hay presión, de que la presión está ahí, pero que no los llega, que no los rompe, que no les destruye en el momento en el que están en el stage, en el que tienen que jugar. Y también dice que sí se consideran como uno de esos equipos que bajo presión puede brillar más y cada vez los vemos más fuertes por eso. Ahora, para mi última pregunta, quiero saber si vemos un escenario en el que Gen.G llega a esa gran final, ¿esperaría tal vez más adelante un rematch en contra de PRX o espera tal vez que sea en contra de alguien más? Ya, asumiendo que siguen tomando esas victorias for the next couple matches here. Assuming that you guys make it to the grand final, everything goes according to plan, are you expecting to have a rematch with PRX or are you expecting it to be someone else?
계획대로 결승전에 간다면 페이퍼렉스를 만날 것 같으신가요? 아니면 다른 팀을 만날 것 같은가요?
일단 제가 원하는 건 페이퍼렉스가 아메리카 팀들 다 잡고 다시 결승 오는 것까지 다 원하고 있지만 그래도 센티넬도 한번 온 김에 만나보고 싶기 때문에 센티넬도 열심히 해서 올랐으면 좋겠네요.
Well, if it goes to my plan, personally, I want PRX to kind of eliminate all the teams from Americas, and then we meet again in the finals. But I want to play against Sentinels because they're a really good team, so I hope they do well right now. But yeah, I would like to face Sentinels.
Dice que si todo va de acuerdo a su plan, la idea es que PRX le gane a todos los equipos de Américas para que se encuentren nuevamente en esa gran final, pero que aún así dice que le gustaría mucho jugar con Sentinels. Espera que les vaya bien en lo que viene siendo esta partida que ya se viene. Y hablando de eso, nosotros nos vamos a pausa. We're gonna take a break real quick and we get ready for that Americas match.
We've seen this matchup before, and last time Gen.G became the king of Pacific. But this is a different stage, and a stage that PRX have conquered over and over again.
Got two damage but no kills. Oh, this has come back into a winnable scenario. Does he hit the bullet? Yo, not even close, guys. Not even close. The opportunity here, at least, to shut down the first and the second one. Yet as well, Rockets on point.
Enemy remaining.
Brilliant from Carlos. This would be exceptional time. Good luck to you and good night.
What a performance for the side of Gen.G.
Done, and the follow-up, and he's out of a knife, and wins. He brought a knife to a knife fight.
Players on the other side, showstopper, he should be dead. Literally, a very quiet start to this game and a reaction shot. I want the shit. 4 on Nice means they know where they are. The take out is perfect.
Forsaken there to help with this fight. Instead, something has to do it on his own, and again, he finds texture. That's a big part of this take. But there's no chance. There's no chance whatsoever. He had to stick it underneath his nose, and short of a big misplay, it was never swinging the other way. A consistent showing from the side of Gen.G as they take victory over their Pacific comrades. It's on to the upper final.